What's going on, guys? Payne here once again, and welcome back to another edition of my Everton career on FIFA 13. It's my third and final season, and we're kicking things off with a massive fixture in the Capital One Cup. It's the quarterfinals, and we're playing against Chelsea at Goodison Park. As I've said in previous videos, this Capital One Cup is going to be all about my youngsters. I'm going to be starting not only the new players that I brought in the summer, but the youngsters as well, like Hallam Hope. And if they get themselves through to the final, it's going to be their trophy that they win. But first, though, is going to be put to the test against a very strong Chelsea side. They put out some of their best players that they have on the team, such as Mata and Hazard and Ramirez and Mikel. So they had their work cut out, but I had faith in them, and I believed that they could do it, and that I could do it, of course. And I finally broke the deadlock with my new signing from the summer, Alessandro Matri. He made it 1-0 to Everton in the 24th minute, and I've got to say, and I've said this before in previous videos, every time my Everton side go head-to-head against Chelsea, we always seem to have an easy day out, even if it's my youngsters. But whenever we come up against the smaller teams in the BPL, like Norwich and Southampton, we always find it a struggle. I'm not too sure why, even when I'm starting my strongest side. But then again, Chelsea did have a game like a day removed from this fixture against us, so their fitness wasn't going to be at their best, so you could expect that they wasn't going to be making as many challenges as you would expect them to be doing if they was fully fit. After Chelsea's hitman Demba Ba made it 1-1, the game had to go into extra time, and of all people to get the golden goal, it was my other new signing for Barcelona, Thiago. He made it 2-1, and that was the full-time score. Didn't even have to go through to penalties, so I was let off there. So my Everton side are now through to the semi-final, where we will play one team twice with 2 legs. So that's going to be very interesting to see who we are drawn against, but at least Chelsea are knocked out, the team that beat us to the Capital One Cup last season at Wembley, so I'm very happy with that result. And with that, we move on to our next fixture. It was in the BPL, and we was playing against West Bromwich Albion at Goodison Park, and this was a very important fixture against West Brom if I want to be lifting that BPL trophy at the end of the season. If I didn't pick up the 3 points against them, then we could be kissing goodbye to that trophy. And as I said before, it's my third and final season, so there will be no other chance to lift that trophy for this Everton side. So we've got our work cut out, but I have belief that we can actually do it come the end of the season. We can leapfrog Man City, who are sat at the top of that table. They are 10 points top at the moment, but I believe that we can close that gap. This Everton side did have a dodgy start to the season, but this is where it begins. Jelavic got the winning goal against West Brom. That was the only goal of the game. A nice header into that bottom corner, picking up those 3 points to add to the league table. Anyway, we move on to our next fixture. We're playing away in the Champions League group stages against Schalke, and I've got to say, I really love playing in this arena. I think it's the roof that does it for me. It just looks amazing, feels so immersive when you actually see it coming out of the tunnel. But yes, this was in the group stage. It was our last game in the group stage. This Everton side have won 4 games in the group stage. We've drawn 1 and we've lost none at all. So all we had to do in this game against Schalke was just sit back, relax and chill out, and just focus on the knockout stages and who we might be drawn against. I'm just hoping that it's not against the likes of Barcelona or Real Madrid, because I know it sounds harsh to say, but I don't think this team is quite ready just yet to play against a team of that calibre. So I'm just hoping that the knockout stage draw will be kind to us, and if it is, and we manage to progress through to the next round, the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I think my team might be ready. They've got into the groove of how the Champions League works and what the teams are like. But I know it's going to be a very tough challenge. But I'm always up for a good challenge. So bring it on, Barcelona or Bayern Munich, the team that won the Champions League last season. We're taking that trophy off you, and we're taking it to Goodison Park this season, hopefully. But yes, anyway, this game against Schalke did open up the score, and it was looking very dodgy, but Jelavic, again, the hitman for Everton, made it 1-1, smashing that ball right up into that top left-hand corner. But even though I was thinking to myself, I needed to chill and relax in this one, I still felt that competitive edge, and I wanted to win the game anyway. And that's what I did. Everton beat Schalke 2-1, and we continue our good run of form in the Champions League, thanks to that goal from Ola John, the former Benfica player, who I have have so much faith in. He's going to be a great player someday. Anyway, guys, we move on to our next fixture. It's in the BPL once again. We're playing against Aston Villa at Villa Park, and there was the league table and its current standings. As you can see, City are lying nice and comfortable at the moment at the top of that table, 12 points ahead of Everton, but Manchester United following closely behind by 6 points. But I have that belief that gap can be closed. I'm not letting City win the BPL again this season. They won it last season. I don't want them winning it 2 times in a row. It's not going to happen. It's going to be Everton this season. And so there we have it. My starting 11 for this game. Willems starts in left back, getting his first professional start in the Everton side against a Premier League team. And it was very interesting to see how he would cope under that pressure. And you know what? I think he did pretty good. Just under 10 minutes played of the game, and Darren Gibson already made it 1-0 to Everton. It came from a corner, landed on the head of Heidegger, who picked out Gibson, and he smashed that one up into the top right corner. And after playing a few frustrating games, especially that West Brom game that you saw earlier on in this video, it was frustrating. It ended 1-0, and it could have gone either way, really. West Brom had quite a few good chances. I didn't put that in the video, unfortunately, but in this game against Villa, I just wanted to dominate. I just wanted to absolutely hammer them. I wanted to grab as many goals, and it's almost as if Jelavic knew, because he grabbed himself his second goal in the second half, making it 3-0 to Everton, and that just wasn't enough for me. I didn't want just 3 goals. I wanted 4. Gignac made it 4-0 in the 78th minute, and that was the full-time score. What a win against Aston Villa. In the past, I found it quite frustrating as well against that team, but we've put that all behind us now, and the floodgates are open. Everton are flying high, and one now has to believe that this can be our season. We can win the BPL if we can keep up performances like that. And so we move on to our next fixture. It's in the BPL again. We're playing against Norwich at Goodison Park, and there is the league table. Of course, City are still top, but Manchester United, they're 7 points behind. They can close that gap, and I do believe, I keep saying it, that I can close the gap on City. We're catching up with Chelsea slowly but surely. It will happen. That was my start 11. Koke returns to the squad. Some of you have been saying, where is Koke? Why aren't you playing him? Well, now he has his time to step up to the plate. And can I just clear this up whilst I've got the chance? Some of you believe that Jordan Ayew did go to Swansea City in the end after my first video of the 3rd season. He didn't leave. I did forget to mention that. I'm sorry about that in that video. But Jordan Ayew didn't leave Everton. He's still in the squad. I just haven't played him recently. It's because contract talks fell through with Swansea City, so he stayed, but as you know, Darren Bent did go to QPR in the end. This game against Norwich, though, Koke was on fire. He was doing absolutely amazing. He even grabbed himself a goal, the opening goal of the game, and then Matry with a penalty made it 2-0, and that was the full-time score. We are just, as I say, we are just flying high at the moment, grabbing 3 points right, left and centre. And so we move on to our next fixture, the last fixture of this video. It's going to be a tough one. It was against Tottenham Hotspurs. We was playing at White Hart Lane, and once again, it's in the BPL, and I had to make sure that I picked up the win here. It was a vital game against Tottenham because, as you just saw the league table, Tottenham lie just under Everton by 4 points. If they won this one, they would close that gap to just 1 point. So it was a very vital game to win this one, because I don't want to be falling behind. I don't want them closing that gap, because then it just becomes increasingly harder if I want to be winning the BPL at the end of the season, because then I've got Tottenham to deal with, because if I lose the game, they're going to leapfrog us. And then we just have to focus on Tottenham then. And I don't want that happening, because I want to be focusing on the BPL trophy. That's what I want to win this season, not having to try and trump Tottenham in the league. But anyway, early on in the game, Fellaini, he was looking pretty good. He was looking fresh after being rested from the last game against Aston Villa. And he came into this game, scored the first goal and scored the second goal in the 28th minute. Gotta say, this Everton side are better than ever. Can't believe it. It's amazing how we've managed to pick ourselves up after that small little blip that we had at the start of the season. But in the second half, at the hour mark, Holtby for Tottenham made it 2-1. They was back into this game, and so the momentum was shifting towards them, seeing that they was playing at White Hart Lane. But my Everton side just had to lock all that pressure inside of a box and keep it there, because I knew that we could contain it. I had come under pressure like this before, and I know some of you guys have probably felt it as well on a FIFA game. The momentum shifts whenever they're playing at home and the crowd get behind them. And it's just insane how they just come out of their shell and start attacking right, left and centre. But Bournemouth did very well to keep that header from going into the back of the net. And that meant that Everton go on to beat Tottenham Hotspurs 2-1 at White Hart Lane. And we pick up the 3 points. Guys, that is the end of this video. I do hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter for all updates around this channel. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.